Yeah, just like a G, you know? Trouble is part of fire.
Hey guys, so today's video is how to survive your first week, semester, and freshman year of college. I finished my freshman year literally 3 months ago, and it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard. So I'm giving you guys some tips and tricks to help you survive your freshman year of college. So the first week of college, what you want to do is find your classes and figure out the best route to all your classes. What I mean by best route is the way you can get to your classes the fastest way so that you have a seat, you have time to get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, things like that, etc., etc. It would suck if you figured out 2 weeks before the semester ended that there was a quicker way to your class. Instead of the 30-minute walk you had to trail, there was a 10-minute bus ride and a 2-minute walk. Next thing, what you want to do is during your first week of classes, that's technically syllabus week. So what you end up getting is your syllabus. What you should do is copy all the dates in your syllabus into your planner or your calendar weekly and monthly. The reason why I say weekly and monthly is because if you put it in the weekly section, you're not always going to look at that part. You only look at it by week. If you also put it in the monthly section as well as the weekly section, you can see your whole month planned out for all your important assignments, projects, due dates, etc., etc. And once you get towards the week, you can prioritize your time from there. The next thing you want to do is meet your professor and your TA. You probably won't meet your TA until the second week because that's when discussions usually are, but you can always meet your professor your first week of classes. They usually have something called office hours, which is when you can go to their office and talk to them, get help from things like that, etc., etc. The next thing you want to do is figure out your routine for each day. What I mean is figure out your daily routine within your first week of school. Now, I know the classes are going to be easy the first 3 weeks, so you're probably going to say, oh, I have from 4 to 10 p.m. to watch TV until and whatever. But then you come your fourth week, you're going to be like, I have no time to watch TV at all. So just get a feel of what your coursework or what your day is going to be like for every single day. Every day is going to be different from the other depending on your classes, any extracurriculars you're doing, any work you're doing, things like that, etc., etc. So you need to figure that out within your first few weeks or so. And the last two things you should do your first week of school are go to at least 1 or 2 campus events and sign up for 3 student orgs. The reason why I tell you to go to at least 1 or 2 campus planned events is because you want to meet other people besides the people that live on your floor and in your dorm. This way you can figure out what people are into and what people are not into. Usually they have a welcome week thing for freshmen, so you can just go to that. You don't have to. It's totally optional, but I think it would be beneficial if you did go. You can meet more people that way, things like that. And signing up for 3 student orgs just give you 3 ideas of what you plan on doing while you're at your college. You don't have to do them. It just lets you figure out that, hey, I actually am interested in this, and then you don't find out about it later. So now you have reached your first semester. Oh boy. So your first semester, don't procrastinate. Your first semester of college ever is your hardest semester of college. Believe me, the first year is the hardest year, period. But the first semester is like literally the most stressful. I know so many people went to the hospital because they were sick or they were too stressed out. That happened to me. So even though it's hard, you shouldn't procrastinate. There are tons of apps out there that you can get to stop you from procrastinating on your work. I know there's a website called 3030 where you can lock certain websites for 30 minutes and then you have a break for 30 minutes. That way you're not overworking yourself when you're studying or doing homework. The next thing you want to do is look at your planner/calendar every single day. The reason why I say this is because after you roll all those dates in your syllabus, from your syllabus into your planner, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm done. Like, boom. Then you look in your planner one day out of the week and you realize you have a paper that's due in 24 hours. So just look at your planner every single day. That way you're caught up on assignments. You can add things, change things, remove things, etc., etc. The next thing you want to do is go to office hours. I don't care what nobody says. Office hours are your best friend. The more office hours you go to, especially your TA's office hours, the more likely your TA is going to bump up your grade for participation in papers and things like that. The gag is, if your class has a TA, the TA is usually one that's grading all the stuff, not the professor. So it don't matter how many times you see the professor. If you don't see your TA, automatic fail. So please go to office hours for both your professor and your TA. They coincide and talk with each other about grades. The TA is most likely the one putting in the grades. So be buddy-buddy with both of them regardless. The next thing you want to do is make a study group. Usually you can make a study group between your discussion group if your class offers a discussion section, or you can find a few people here and there within your dorm or in your class and say, hey, do you guys want to make a study group together, so on and so forth. And that's how it usually works. Make time to relax. I don't care what nobody says. You need to relax while you're in college. College is very stressful. If you don't give yourself time to relax or take a mental day or take a mental break, you are going to end up like I did in the hospital for a week and a half because you were so stressed out. Heed my advice. Go to tutoring sessions if you need them. I'm not saying everyone needs tutoring sections or everyone has to go to tutoring sections, but if you feel like you're behind in the class and office hours just aren't cutting it for you, go to tutoring sessions. Then you want to write your notes down once, or if you're typing them on the computer, write them down twice. The reason why I say if you're on the computer, type them out twice is because once you type it on the computer, you're never going to look back at them again, except when you're studying. My roommate, Abby, she took notes on her computer, and then when it came time to study, she would type them out all over again into condensed notes so that all the important information was there when she needed it. The next thing you want to do during the semester is study a little bit each day, not like an hour to 2 hours, like 10 to 20 minutes each day, especially if you have weekly quizzes or weekly tests, things like that. You'd need to study a little bit so that way you can retain the information and you have a good study habit set in place. And the last thing you should do your first semester of college, because this first semester is hard, use Quizlet. If you didn't use it in high school, start using it now. If you used it in high school, keep on using it. Quizlet is your best friend. Quizlet is the only way I passed French vocabulary. Let me tell you, Quizlet is the only way I passed French vocabulary because I didn't know nothing. And because of Quizlet, I was getting 80s on all my exams. So, and so now you want to reward yourself for getting things done your first semester. Once your first semester is done, you got the swing of things. You're in the hang of things, and everything is good and dandy, so you're fine. But it's still hard, and because you accomplished it, you should reward yourself. And the last thing you want to do your first semester is prepare for the second semester. What I mean is figure out what classes you're going to take for your spring semester. Go speak to your advisor before your second semester begins so they can tell you if you're on track or not, what classes you should put in your priority, and then which classes you should take later. And now the rest of your first year. Take every obstacle, mistake, and setback and learn from it and use that to help you grow. As I mentioned before, I got sent to the hospital for a week and a half because I was so stressed out with school and my roommates added more fuel to the fire. And after that, I didn't think I was going to come back to school at all. I thought I was done. I was ready to either drop out or go to the U of M. And when I came back, I told myself, look, you need to start putting your mental health first. And from that, I started putting my mental health first. I would take days off from classes and say, oh, I can't come in, I don't feel good, yada, yada, yada. I have accommodations for next year set up so that if another incident like last year did happen again this year, I'm set. You also want to keep your routine the same your first year unless your classes end up seemingly different, like the times are different. Like let's say you used to wake up at 8 a.m. every single day first semester, now second semester you're waking up at 11 a.m. Just make changes as needed. Don't always stick to the same routine unless you want the same routine. Especially if you're a student athlete, you're most likely going to have the same routine. Next, you want to look for summer jobs and internships your first year, mainly your second semester. The reason why I say start looking into summer jobs and internships your second semester is because no one's going to look at your application in December if you want a job in June. It's just facts. Like, you have 6 months in between. I would say to start applying for jobs and internships in March or April. That way, when you come in May, you can just get an interview, you can get the job or the internship, and you're set to go. Getting an internship, in my opinion, is much better because you have a foundation for your career, and usually, if you do an internship at a certain business, they will hire you in the future. The next thing you also want to do is prepare for the following year. Just get your classes ready for fall semester, or if you're taking summer classes, get ready for those classes, because you don't want to sit there the last day of school and realize, oh shoot, I need to take summer classes, or I haven't registered for my fall classes yet. You don't want to end up like that, and it's less stressful if you figure it out second semester than having to do it later. And the last thing you want to do your first year, at the very, very end, is congratulate yourself. Your first year is the hardest year of college. A lot of people drop out. A lot of people transfer. A lot of people switch majors, and everything just becomes a congealed, piled up mess your first year. So if you can get through your first year without having to drop out or transfer or any of those things, dropping out and transferring is not bad. That's not what I'm saying. If you need to, you need to. But if you can get through all the hardships that freshman year threw at you in college, you will be able to survive every other year after that. Okay? You got this, freshman. Believe in yourself. And if you need any advice, I'm here. Your parents are here. Your friends, your TA, your RA, your professor, anything you need help with, there's a support system for you. They're right behind you. You just got to turn around and find them. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below any tips and tricks for you to survive your freshman year, or any questions you have on surviving your freshman year of college. I'm sorry that the paper kept getting in the way. I wasn't trying to awkwardly look up and down the whole time. I just wanted to keep it clean, keep it simple. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is down below. All my social media links are down below. My Snapchat will be in the later slide. Love you, peeps. Bye.